What baffles me is that there are a lot of people in this world that believe in many different things, and we have a right to our own beliefs. But what really is mind-boggling to me is that a lot of us, when we wake up in the morning, we believe that we are the ones that create our existence. But think about this. We weren't able to be the ones to create us in the womb, us coming here, us actually being able to have the ability to breathe, the ability to walk, the ability to talk, the ability to see. There is a force that we cannot see that's underneath the surface that is actually ruling the process. But since we get so entangled with the ways of the world, we start to get into the God complex of thinking we are the creator of everything, even though there are things that we cannot control. But we want to believe that we have control over everything. And this is what keeps us in the fear-based mentality, rather than giving ourselves permission to trust in what I like to call spirit. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys how to trust in this invisible force that we sense, even though we cannot see, that we feel, even though that it's beyond our own perception. There is something underneath the surface that really is here to guide us, really here to be our inner compass. But we first got to tune into it. And when we tune into it, the most important thing about it is that we have to learn to trust in it. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how to be able to do that and to no longer fear existing, but start to learn how to co-create with this higher force to give yourself the sense of feeling safe, whole, and complete upon your journey. What is Gooch, beautiful beings? Welcome back, Awaken Ones, on another episode on Embracing Ascension series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, so glad to have you here. If you've been on this journey with me so far, gang, only love, you know who you is. Other than that, beautiful beings, I am an energetic activator here to assist you to awaken things you have yet to see. Also a Reiki practitioner and intuitive channeler. And if you want to see any services that I render, such as readings, such as Reiki, do have a healing course, some merch, and also go check out my Etsy shop. And I am now on Spotify at Miss Divine Reality with my homegirl Jessica Freya. So go check that out. Information will be down in the description box below. And please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button. But other than that, beautiful beings, you know what baffles me is that the more that I commit to my spiritual journey and to my healing, the more I am literally bewildered by, and I say this with big words like that because there is a force and an energy that we cannot see, but we can sense, that's beyond our five senses, as in taste, touch, smell, sight. I feel like I'm missing another one. Hearing, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm always forgetting shit. But I'm such a deep thinker, and to be giving myself permission to commit to trusting the unknown, to trusting in what I like to call spirit, the more I start to see that a lot of us have a facade up that is really guided by fear. And this facade is believing that we have everything under control, believing that everything is all right, believing that we are the gods of our life. And don't get me wrong, we are the creator of our existence. But at the same time, we are the ones that create our reality. We are not the ones that control reality. And there is a force that we cannot see, but we can sense. This is why we have an intuition that is really guiding us on this process and this journey. But a lot of us don't trust in the intuition. A lot of us don't trust in the unknown and what the two eyes cannot perceive. Because look at it this way. When you put your body under a microscope, all you see is the bones. All you see is the nerves. All you see is the flesh. But what you don't see is the energy underneath that is allowing this physicality to exist. And if you put it actually on a deeper microscope, I would say, because I really don't know what you call that kind of microscope that goes like beyond the flesh and beyond the physical. But when you allow yourself to see that you can't see the intuition. You can't see spirit. You can't see energy, but you can feel it. Even the exercise right now, if you hold your hands still for guaranteed 1 minute, you start to feel tingling upon your fingertips. Why is that? You can't see anything there, but you can sense that something is there because you are energy. And I like to call this energy spirit. And you know, all my life, have experienced supernatural things to the point I can't really explain the things I have experienced. This is why I kind of sense why I have such emotional intelligence to allow myself to connect to just anyone and everybody, to be able to understand their language in a way that their consciousness can pick it up and really fathom the things that I see and I sense, because I'm a deep thinker. And I know a lot of people aren't like that, because it's a little scary going in the depths of your own psyche. Because when you do so, when you go in the depths of your own psyche, you have no choice but to see what's really in control. A lot of us want to suppress these doubts, these fears, because we think if we face them, then we won't have any control over them. But the whole point of releasing control is to surrender, because surrender allows trust. Surrender allows relief. And what if I told you that relief guides you into the unknown of spirit? What's crazy is that a lot of people want to manifest in this life, and a lot of people think they have to become manifestors. We are already manifestors. We are already creators. We're given the vision to allow this vision to create and activate an emotion within us, to the point that in order to activate that emotion of inspiration to bring that vision to life, we have to face the resistance that's causing the blockage towards making that vision come to life. And a lot of people don't want to face that. This is why we stay in fear, stagnation, what seems low vibrating, because it's so much easier to stay comfortable rather than get uncomfortable. Why do you think a lot of people who are in their power are adaptable, but people who aren't in their power are too fearful of change? So I say this because in order for yourself to allow yourself to believe that your reality is not your physical circumstances, your reality is your perception of your physicality, then we have to understand that the only way to allow in what is non-physical to come into the physical is to really understand the essence of spirit within you and the connection you have with the higher spirit that's inside of you and on the outside of you. Because when we're manifesting and we have to face the resistance to activate an emotion to bring that action, that physical action, to bring that vision to life, we have to have a sense of resilience. And what I mean by resilience, it's not that you tolerate everything and you suppress what bothers you, because this is what creates stagnation and fear of change. What I mean by resilience is that you have to allow this life to put you through a process to guide you back to that internal spirit within you. And that process through this life is going to feel so tumultuous, so overbearing, to the point it feels like it's too hard to deal with emotions, and it gets really uncomfortable. But you have to learn the ways of gaining your strength to the point that your physical circumstances do not dismantle your spirit. And that is the whole point of this journey. When you get to a place where your physical circumstances don't dismantle your spirit, meaning that everything that is happening in your physical world is not affecting how you want to feel, because you are choosing by your own will and your divine right to feel how you want to feel. That is where your power is and your choices. Then what you're allowing yourself to do is not be attached to the outcome of the want or the desire, but to understand that it's already here by not feeling like it's missing. And when you get yourself to a place where you don't need these techniques, when you don't need to try to manifest, what you're allowing yourself to do is get connected to that spirit within you. And this is how you can trust in spirit. When it gets to a point where nothing feels like anything, there's nothing in your life missing, you feel like you already have it. Second way to trust in spirit is to allow your intuition, which is the inner voice that makes us do uncomfortable things, to guide us. Why is that? Because the ego, the logical mind that is of this world, is only ruled by fantasy and soothing. This is why a lot of us have coping mechanisms. This is why a lot of us have procrastination habits. This is why a lot of us say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll get it done another day, and not really focus on what it is our heart is calling us to. We're only called to the instant gratification because it's the soothing of the uncomfortability of wanting to actually change. And since a lot of people stay in that energy rather in the energy of allowing themselves to listen to their internal guidance, they rather listen to the voice of the ego that is only wanting to feel comfortable. Now, you know your intuition is speaking to you when you feel like you have to do something that's uncomfortable. The logical mind, which makes us in our masculine energy. And the masculine is always rooted in the physicality. But the spirit is ruled by the femininity. And it's ruled by what is unseen. It is ruled by what we hide. It's ruled by the ocean, by the moon. While the masculine is ruled by the sun. So this is why it's important to tap into spirit and really trust in it. Because what it will allow you to do is when you trust in your intuition, that makes you do things that are comfortable. And by realizing that inner voice and knowing that it's your intuition, the intuition doesn't care about what is right and what is wrong. It cares about what is in your highest good. So if you feel like you have to do something that is uncomfortable that you've never done before, that is your intuition. Because your intuition is trying to make you grow. Your intuition is trying to make you mature. Your intuition is trying to help you learn these lessons so you can actually create quicker and joyfully and wholefully and completely. So that is the second way to trust in spirit, is allowing your intuition to guide you to do uncomfortable things. And for example, uncomfortable things could be speaking up for yourself about what you want and boundaries in a relationship. It could be about cutting certain friendships off and telling them why it bothers you, why things bother you, and allowing yourself to see if they really respect you by setting those boundaries or don't respect you. Allowing yourself to make the shift to move somewhere new, to do something new, to do something that you feel called to do. And not really caring about what the outer world is thinking, but really caring about, is your inner world feeling heard and seen to the point that you feel fulfilled in what you do, and not caring about what other people are not doing. And now the third way to trust in spirit is really allow yourself to surrender. And I know a lot of people have trouble with this. I used to. I still do here and there, but I think I'm getting a lot better at it. Surrendering is knowing that you can trust in relief and in rest. We're so ruled and governed by always taking action and always hustling and always believing that our control comes from always taking action. Yes, you need to take action in order to bring what we want into physical reality. But what we really need to do is understand that the physical needs rest, because it helps the spirit be able to rejuvenate and download more activations and more inner codes that are going to help your DNA and going to help your nervous system regulate to be able to be that new version of you. Because we can't quantum jump and we can't become a new version of ourselves until we first declutter and deprogram the way that we used to think into reprogramming ourselves and who we want to think. Our mind is like a computer. We are massively intelligent. And when we start to acknowledge this intelligence within us, we start to recognize how everything in this world that was created is very similar to ourselves. And we start to tap into spirit and stop being engulfed by distractions and temptations, but being really curious about why we exist, then we can really recognize that, wow, there is something more than myself. There is something more than this flesh. There is something more than this ego and this mind and this world and what we were told and what we are shown. So that is the way to trust in spirit, is by allowing yourself to surrender and understanding that the hustle and bustle culture is not what we need to be governed by. We should be governed by the feminine energy, which allows us to surrender. And if you notice, the feminine energy has been very suppressed for many, many decades because it teaches us the magical essence within us. A lot of us don't understand that we have crystals within our body. We have crystals within our third eye. We have crystals solidifying itself within our body that creates such magnificence abilities to create results within our life, because there is an energy that's underneath the surface that is ruling this process of this existence for us. And when you start to surrender, you start to allow yourself to gain clarity. In order for us to get what we want, we have to inquire rest. We have to inquire rejuvenation. We have to require reflection. Rest is just as important as action. And when we allow ourselves to surrender, we allow this energy to really take hold and take charge and take lead while we already did the work that we needed to do. We already did our part. Now let the unknown and the spirit take its part and take its lead in doing the rest of the job for us. And you do that by surrendering, because you let it know that you trust it. I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in spirit guides, who don't believe in ancestors, who don't believe in a higher power. But if you look at your life and you look at how many things you have been through, can you really say it was just by sheer luck? Or was it by an unexpected essence that really is here to help you believe in miracles, to help you believe in the magic within yourself? And I know this may sound corny, but I don't give a fuck. Because we're so rooted in fear that we need to be rooted by faith. We need to believe before we see. That's how creation works. We need to celebrate, because celebration brings manifestation. So I say all this for you to feel as if whatever you feel like is in your way currently, whatever you feel like is not assisting you, whatever you feel like is taking too long to come to fruition, is really trying to help you get to a point of no longer feeling like anything in your life is missing, but to allow yourself to surrender, but to allow yourself to trust the fact that everything you went through has already prepared you to be so sovereign within your own inner self that you trust in your internal spirit and you trust within spirit itself, to the point that you have such a resilience that you're no longer going to be entangled or triggered or reactive about anything that happens in your reality. Because when you have self-mastery like that over your emotions and over your thoughts and over how you act and how you feel, nothing can dismantle you. Nothing can rattle you. Nothing can manipulate you, hurt you, or use you. Because you got to a point of understanding that there is a process. And once you learn to trust that process beyond your own understanding and your own wounding and your own control, then you will allow yourself some relief. What's crazy is that I've been abandoned a lot in my life. I've been abused a lot in my life. And the things I've been through, and the things I've seen, I'm like, damn, I was always physically alone, but I was never alone spiritually. I always used to see spirit guides. I always used to see figures. And I started to realize, I'll never forget, there's a story my mom always tells. And she's like, you know, Brittany, that day I felt like you had angels with you. I knew you had angels with you. And I always feel like I have such an angelic and also an alien-like energy to me. Because I don't know why, things just happen in such a miraculous way for me, to the point I know I'm not alone. I may not have people physically, but I know what my eyes can't see, there's something there that's really looking out for me. And I want you to understand that is the same for you. But you first have to allow yourself to believe in that, to trust in that, to have faith in that, but also be guided by the unknown force within you that's trying to lure you and to do things that you never done before, to see the potential that you have yet to tap into that lies within you. So you guys, that is what I wanted to share with you today, is that if you ever wonder why you have such gratitude, such optimism for life, even though you've been given very little, is because you are in the process of going through a metamorphosis right now. And it's allowing you to make changes, to make shifts in your life, because you are finally gaining the lessons from all these karmic cycles that are clearing out. You're finally allowing yourself to understand what you deserve and see the value that you hold from your existence. And because of this, you're starting to give yourself permission to be more, to feel more, to do more, but to also to trust more without giving yourself such pressure to be more. And when you do this, you allow that internal spirit to change you, to shift you, to help you see that you no longer need to grieve this old version of you. You no longer need to fear any part of you or this world, because you exist for a reason. And when you acknowledge that existence, you acknowledge the power that you are able to have. So, as I share all this with you guys, it's here to help you accumulate all the lessons, to transmute that energy, and to gain internal power mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, to allow yourself to make this shift for you. I know a lot of us are going through so many tumultuous things is because we're getting geared up to get ready to receive. We're getting ready to be that version of us we never been, to receive what we have never have. And it's a little scary. It's a little overwhelming. But I know that a lot of us, and especially if you're watching this, you're ready for more. You're ready for what you have asked for. You're ready to see the power that you have within you and know that, damn, I could really create anything I want, because there's something guiding me. There's something that has looked out for me. There's something that is beyond you that wants you to have what you want. So other than that, you guys, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I don't know who needed to hear it. But if this activated you anyway, and if this made you see something bigger than your own current belief system, then I hope it brought some sense of inspiration within you and a sense of love for your existence. But until then, you guys, please hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button and check out my merch down in the description box below. Until then, you guys, stay safe, healthy, and blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Only love.